Welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Welcome back to the Reading Corner. We are jumping into Season 8. And let's just start by covering the intro, and I'll keep this brief, and I won't do any spells and whistles. So, this is Red Reunion. As Season 8 of Marvel Rivals arrives, spring is drawing to a close and a bright, vibrant summer awaits us by the pool. Indeed, if someone happens to have Summers as their last name, it's hard not to imagine him as a relaxed, radiant person. But for Scott, his entire life has been a harsh lesson in learning how to hold back his light. Unlike the warmth of the summer sun, Scott's brilliance seems to have forced him to bid farewell to any lasting happiness, trapping him in an endless cycle of bitter winters. Though when Jean is by his side, he can really let loose. When he's at his best, Cyclops is the first of the X-Men, the steadfast captain, the ultimate defender of Xavier's dream. But when Jean is gone, he becomes a radical mutant revolutionary, a wartime leader, the heretical heir to Xavier's legacy. Whether or not Cyclops was right in our eyes, the only true tragedy is that during the mutant's most desperate fight for survival, he was left alone to bear those choices that had no right answers. Just as Orpheus's desperate gaze separated him from Idris forever, Scott's restrained gaze forced him to endure far too many partings before he could ever truly embrace happiness with Jean. So, if the theme of Season 7 was freedom, then the eating heart of Season 8 is reunion. Cyclops is perhaps one of the longest absent heroes in our game's lore. At the very onset of the time-string entanglement, he was attending Gambit and Rogue's wedding, only to be swept away by a temporal storm into the 2099 timeline. Though he tried to keep a low profile, the moment he saw a stranded Moon Girl in danger, he didn't hesitate to leap into action. Tragically, his heroic intervention led to both of them being captured by Alchemex. He was forced to keep his eyes open, serving as an endless, agonizing power source for Alchemex's Chronovium. And this immense power was ultimately harnessed by another child desperate for a reunion, triggering the localized incursion that has spanned our last 2 seasons. Lunella Lefette, who some may know better as Moon Girl, is the smartest person on the planet, much to the consternation of her fellow geniuses. But unfortunately, that level of intellect doesn't make goodbyes any easier, nor does it lessen the ache of missing a best friend. When the time stream entanglement struck, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur were torn apart. A partner who had shared her misadventures, her wild escapades, and helped her navigate the world with an imagination far beyond her years, was locked away in the Collector's Museum. Lunella, meanwhile, was trapped in an unfamiliar era, forced by Alchemax to research ways to breach other timelines. When Deadpool eliminated those captive creatures and brought them to his monster kingdom, Moon Girl finally caught Devil Dinosaur's signal. Desperate to reunite with her best friend, she recklessly activated the Chronovium she had been studying, yanking the entire Alchemax headquarters along with a captive Scott Summers back into the present timeline. True, a reunion isn't always a perfect cure for the parting. It can be born of a mistake, a rash decision, or a reckless gamble. The problems that existed before the good guy might still be waiting when you say hello again. They might see red, flooded with anger for one reason or another, with only their partner as the receptacle. But the moment 2 lost souls, connected by any distance, look into each other's eyes once more, they'll know one thing for certain: the parting itself can never hurt them again. Be ahead of all parting, as though it already were behind you, like the winter that has just gone by, like summer has arrived. So that's the introduction for Season 8. It basically sums up where we're at. So basically, Season 7 saw Alchemax breach into the present. So one timeline crossing with another timeline. And apparently Moon Girl was the one responsible for that. And we now know where Scott Summers is. He's basically being held in Alchemax. Which means, when I read that last gallery card talking about someone with a similar brain pattern watching Jean Grey across the road, that wasn't Scott Summers. I thought it was, but it can't be, because if he's meant to be locked up in Alchemax right now, which begs the question, who was that? My money's on it's either a Madeline Pryor or another version of Jean Grey. Most likely Madeline Pryor, if they're trying to set up a new character later down the line. But interesting. But yeah, so we know where Cyclops is now, and we know where Moon Girl is, and more importantly, Devil Dinosaur is our latest playable character. I'll be covering his lore segment soon, so be sure to subscribe for that. Until then, I'll see you next time.